When boxing historians talk about the art of the knockout, they cannot skip the name Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire. A man whose left hook could end fights in a blink. Donaire's career spans over 2 decades, carrying him from a bullied asthmatic child in the Philippines to a 4-division world champion admired across the globe. As of now, Nonito Donaire's estimated net worth is about $5 million. This wealth comes not only from championship purses and pay-per-view bonuses, but also endorsements, training ventures, and his evolving role as a respected elder statesman in boxing. But what makes Donaire remarkable isn't just the money or the belts. It's the way he's remained relevant, fighting at championship level into his 40s, inspiring a new generation of Filipino and international fighters. Early life. Nonito Gonzalez Donaire Jr. was born on November 16, 1982, in Taliban, Bohol, Philippines. His father, Nonito Donaire Sr., had once been an amateur boxer and a soldier in the Philippine Army. His mother, Imelda Gonzalez, was the bedrock of the household, instilling values of resilience and faith. Nonito grew up as the third of 4 children, alongside his older brother Glenn, younger brother Ermi, and sister Rosiel. The Donaire household wasn't rich. Their lives were defined by modesty and routine. When Nonito was about 6, the family relocated to General Santos City, a tough city that had already produced another legend, Manny Pacquiao. The two would eventually share classrooms and even small play fights in schoolyards. Not knowing destiny would crown them both as world champions. Childhood was not easy for Nonito. He was a frail child, small in frame, constantly sick from asthma attacks. Worse, he was relentlessly bullied for his skinny appearance and accent. When he later migrated to the US, "I'd cry almost every day," he once admitted. "I didn't think I'd ever be strong." Boxing wasn't originally his dream. It was his brother Glenn, also a boxer, who pulled him into the gym. Their father, strict and militant, forced discipline into their veins. If Glenn fought, Nonito followed. If Glenn ran at dawn, Nonito laced his sneakers too. At age 11, the family moved to Van Nuys, California, chasing opportunities. Nonito barely spoke English and often felt like an outsider. At San Lorenzo High School in San Leandro, California, he found himself again the target of teasing. But the gym became his refuge. He idolized Alexis Arguello, studying tapes of his elegant power punches, mimicking them in a mirror until his timing was perfect. Soon, that skinny, asthmatic boy began knocking out sparring partners. By his mid-teens, Nonito was an amateur prodigy, capturing the 1998 National Silver Gloves, the 1999 National Junior Olympics, and the 1999 International Junior Olympics gold medal. His amateur record stood at 68 wins and 8 losses, a testament to the transformation of a boy who once wept after school into a fighter who dreamed of greatness. Personal life. In 2008, Nonito's life found its cornerstone outside the ring when he married Rachel Marcial, a Filipino-American Taekwondo champion and U.S. Air Force veteran. Their wedding, first held in Carmel, California, and later celebrated in the Philippines, symbolized the merging of 2 warrior spirits. Rachel wasn't just a wife. She became his manager, strategist, motivator, and protector. She handled business negotiations, cornered him during fights, and sometimes even sparred with him during training. Her father, meanwhile, served as Donaire's chief of security. Boxing was a family affair. The couple has 2 sons, Jarrell and Logan, both growing up around gyms and ringside seats, often spotted cheering with tiny gloves on their fists. Nonito has said that fatherhood gave him a new dimension of purpose. "When I fight now, it's not just for glory. It's to show my kids what perseverance looks like." Faith has always been central in his life. Raised in a devout Catholic household, Nonito frequently speaks of gratitude to God after fights, often kneeling in prayer. In 2023, he even reacquired Filipino citizenship, making a public statement about reconnecting with his homeland after years as a U.S. citizen. Outside the ring, Donaire has dabbled in acting and media. He's appeared in documentaries and indie films like Palatong Nagbud and Old Heads Barbershop. He also invests time in charity work, particularly programs aimed at giving Filipino children access to sports and education. Professional career. Donaire's professional debut came in February 2001, and it ended in dramatic fashion. A first-round knockout over Jose Lazaro. But his career didn't soar immediately. He faced setbacks early, including a controversial decision loss to Rosendo Sanchez. Many young fighters would have folded, but Donaire used it as fuel. His breakout came on July 7, 2007, when he faced Vic Darcinian for the IBF flyweight title. Darcinian was undefeated, a ferocious puncher feared across the division. Yet in the fifth round, Donaire uncorked a lightning left hook that detonated on Darcinian's chin. The Armenian crashed to the canvas. The world gasped. The Filipino Flash had arrived. That punch earned Ring Magazine's Knockout of the Year and became a career-defining moment. From there, his legend grew. In 2011, he demolished Fernando Montiel with another left hook so violent that Montiel's body twitched on the canvas. It was one of the most chilling KOs of the decade. In 2012, Donaire's dominance across 4 fights earned him Fighter of the Year honors from The Ring, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and the Boxing Writers Association of America. He became a 4-division champion, holding belts in flyweight, super flyweight, bantamweight, and super bantamweight, a feat achieved by only a handful of legends. But what made Donaire special wasn't just his power. It was his longevity. In an era when careers often burn out by the mid-30s, Donaire was still fighting for world titles in his 40s. His 2 clashes with Naoya Inoue, the Japanese monster nicknamed the Monster, became instant classics. Their 2019 bout was the Ring's Fight of the Year, a war that tested both men's souls. Though Donaire lost, he gained even more respect for standing toe-to-toe with one of the most feared fighters of his generation. Even in 2025, with over 2 decades in the sport, Donaire refused to fade quietly. In June 2025, in Buenos Aires, he defeated Andres Campos to win the WBA interim bantamweight world title. The fight ended in a technical decision after a clash of heads, but Donaire was ahead on all cards. At 42, he was still collecting belts, an almost mythical level of endurance in boxing. House tour and car collection. Unlike many athletes who flaunt their lifestyles, Nonito is known for keeping his private life private. He resides primarily in Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world. His home is modern, spacious, and tailored for both family comfort and athletic recovery, complete with a gym setup where he can train on days he doesn't hit professional facilities. As for cars, he hasn't been public about a fleet of luxury vehicles. Instead, those who know him describe him as practical rather than extravagant. While he's likely owned a few high-performance cars fitting a world champion, Nonito prefers to invest in family, stability, and legacy rather than flaunting material wealth. College career. Unlike many athletes who balance sports with academics, Donaire did not pursue a traditional college education. By his late teens, boxing was not just his focus, it was his lifeline. After high school, he turned professional, dedicating himself fully to the sport. His college was the boxing ring, his textbooks were hours of fight tape, and his professors were the opponents who tested his resilience. As of today, Nonito Donaire is very much alive. In fact, he remains active as a competitor and mentor, fresh off his 2025 WBA interim title victory. At 42, he has defied age, expectations, and retirement predictions. There's no cause of death to report. Only the story of a living legend still writing chapters in real time. Nonito Donaire's life is a testament to the power of reinvention. He went from a bullied child gasping for air in asthma attacks to one of the most feared knockout artists in the world. He built a career not on arrogance, but on humility, family, and faith. He may not have the global fame of Manny Pacquiao, but in many ways, his story is just as compelling. A man who refused to quit, who stayed relevant for over 2 decades, who fought monsters in the ring and beat the doubts outside of it. The flash still flickers. At 42, belts in hand, sons cheering from ringside, and his wife still in his corner, Donaire is proof that greatness isn't a single moment. It's a lifetime of them.